first person on my podcast.
Really?
On my car podcast.
No way.
No way. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's an honor.
What's up, guys? It's Moody46, and this is the first episode of the, we're gonna say the unnamed podcast because I don't have a name for it yet. I still have to figure it out. We're doing it in the M4. It's gonna be all about car talks, obviously, because, you know, life is all about cars. So today, our first guest is Sanjay.
Hello, hello.
Sanjay, welcome. If you guys remember Sanjay, we did the interview of his Kswap Evo, and there was a lot of mixed opinions on that video. But before we get into that and some other car-related topics, I'm gonna let him introduce himself and tell us what he drives.
My name is Sanjay. I drive well, I'm known for my Evo, but I'm also really famously known for my RX7s, primarily my DCT swapped RX7. I have several RX7s, some of them... Several. Some of them are DCT swapped, some of them are still manual, some of them are sequential, 2 race cars, and a K truck.
I kind of want to take a deeper dive into the car conversation. I don't want to keep it like, oh, how much horsepower are you pushing? I kind of want to ask you more about how you got started into the car scene or into the car space, because I know you've been here for a while. Yeah,
I got into it through my dad, right? My dad used to race. He got me into karting. I did pro karting when I was younger. I grew up in the family business, and it was bodywork and mechanical stuff. And my dad was the one that had the first RX7 in our household. 86. The amount of times that thing broke down and we had to push that thing, but it was so much fun because it was like a bonding exercise with that car. And it kind of pushed me to get my own. I always wanted one. I used to draw them in high school, draw them in elementary. All my friends, like, you could talk to like all my classmates. They know that my dream car when I was 16 had to be an RX7. And then when I turned 16, I got an RX7. I loved them. Like, it was just, they're weird, you know? They didn't work the way that we were told in school, like, oh, it's a piston engine, it goes up and down. No, this thing just spins. Why? Like a Beyblade? I don't know. It just does it, but it works. It sounds cool, it smells horrible, but that's
the best thing about it.
Yeah, it's unique, right?
Yeah.
Since I've been in the car community, the car scene, everything, I've always strived to just do things that put you away from the general population. Like, you want to be unique, the norm. Yeah, what other best way than to get an RX7, which is the most random car ever built, pretty much, right? So.
And then speaking of being outside of the norm and all of that, so obviously when we posted the video, we got a lot of mixed emotions about your K-swapped Evo, because everyone's like, how do you put a K20? How are you gonna make an Evo a Honda? How are you gonna ruin it like that? What do you have to say about that and about doing things a little bit differently? Because for me, I love the uniqueness and that it's not your normal, you know, typical build that you would see. But what's your opinion on that?
If I showed you my DMs, there are a handful of people that love it, there's a handful of people that hate it, and then there's a handful that hate it but just love that it's different, but just aren't happy that it was done to that car. It's a very mixed opinion on a lot of things. I've had an Evo when I was in Japan. I had an Evo 6 and I loved it. It was great. I got nothing but love for the 4G63 on that car. Nothing but love. However, when I bought that Evo, it didn't come with a motor. I don't like buying things and just throwing them in. I don't like trusting that, hey, a shop built this, you're good.
Yeah.
Because we all know, you don't know where to start.
Right.
I'm a person that like to tinker and know how to fix something. If I buy a pre-built car, and it doesn't start tomorrow, I have so much things I gotta check. Battery, this, that, wiring. I don't know where to start. But if I start from scratch, it's a lot easier to kind of retrace your steps. Be like, oh, you know what? I didn't look over a map sensor. I didn't look over my fuse box, my fuel pump, whatever it is. And you go there, you find it. Cool. The Evo was an interesting one because I didn't want to K-swap it.
It just happened.
Yeah, it was never like oh, that's my dream. No. It wasn't like how the RX7 was. Like, my dream is to do my DCT swap. I want a sequential box in it, things like that. The Evo was just take what I have at the shop, put it together, see if I can get a daily drivable type of car with AC power steering, all-wheel drive. Let's just make it happen.
It's reliable, guys. It's reliable.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You just can't beat it. It's got its quirks, don't get me wrong. 6 times I broke down already with it. 5 of the times were axles. Maybe twice, actually. I did break a post mount. Those are things that, like, just
a regular day.
Nah, I mean, like, you're just having fun with it, you know?
Yeah.
It's the love of it. But I get why someone would get mad.
Is it more of the Evo guys that are getting mad, or the Honda guys that are getting mad? Which one?
The Honda guys love it.
That's because that's what I saw too. I saw that most Honda people appreciated it because it had the motor in it.
Yeah.
And I feel like Honda people, they love when motors are just in every other car but a Honda.
I don't know why. I have no idea, but I love them for that.
Yeah.
They just get so excited.
Like the K20s, K24s being other OEMs.
I think it's like more of like you're one of us now. You're
yeah.
Like, you know how it is now. You know, Honda power. They get all excited. And even the guys, like when I was down in Jersey and stuff, I ran into a couple of Evo guys. Most of the Evo guys come from a Honda background. So then they're like, man, like, I love that car. You got to bring that car down back again, this and that. I'm like, you know, but there's a lot of people, again, like the Evo guys, like you said.
How could you? We can't all be driving the same thing. If we all drove the same thing, then that shit would be boring.
Oh, straight up. I wouldn't even be in the car, in the car stuff, like, because there's no originality. You could be in society and just wear the same pants, same shoes, same sweater, same everything, you know, like, you look generic.
Well, there's something about like seeing all these like NPC cars in a parking lot and then seeing yours, and then yours just stands out from everybody else. It's like, you know, it's nice.
Feeling.
It is a good feeling.
It's a good feeling.
How long would you say you've been in the car scene for? If we had to sum it up.
Well, I would say like 15 years or so. Okay. Yeah.
And what would you say is the biggest change that you've seen from 15 years ago up to now?
So I'm distracted by the guy making a TikTok right now.
There's a guy making a TikTok.
Yeah.
Look, there he is. There he is. This is why it's good to be different, guys. Oh, he has a big ass smile on his face.
Yeah, he's living life. He's happy. Back in the day, you could build a car. It didn't have to be every bells and whistles out there. It didn't need to have like the most expensive kit, the most expensive wheels, the most expensive, like branding this, branding that. Yeah. It just needs to have a little bit of that personal touch to it. You look at it, you're like, wow, someone built that. Yeah. Someone, or building, you know, someone's putting some effort. They did some wheels. They did a nice paint job. Oh, they got a cool engine. You know, they don't need everything. Yeah. They don't need all the boxes checked. And when I got into the car scene, everybody was just, they didn't care about exterior. It was more like, put a big ass motor, make some power.
Bro, the best cars are the sleeper builds.
Oh, those little B series Hondas, you know.
Back to the question. What do you think is the biggest difference from back then to now?
Society in general. The car community is not what it was.
100%.
Not what it was. Not in a bad way. Well, yeah.
I don't know, guys. In my opinion, I don't know. We haven't. I don't think we've developed positively.
No.
I don't think so.
For instance, there was times where we used to have fun on the street. Yeah. You know, there's spots I won't name, but like, there's places that we used. Yeah, there's spots. But we used to go, have a blast, do our thing. No cameras. No footage, social media. It was just a couple guys going out, have a great time. We end the night by getting food, laugh about it, next day, back to work. Yeah. Now, it's not like that. Everything has to be publicized. Everything has to be posted. You need street cred. You need proof you did it. Oh, I did 180 on the highway. Okay, well, do you have proof? No. Okay, now someone goes out there and they go do it. Yeah. And then they get busted. And then they're like, oh, the car scene is so messed up, this and that. No. I would say the Canadian car scene, especially Ontario, is under a huge threat, I guess you could say right now.
We're barely holding on to a car scene. Yeah. Our car community here.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's bad. I'm gonna stand behind this when I say this. It's not us, it's the police. Just like how they don't want us to generalize them and that not every cop is a bad cop. Same shit with the car community. Not every car person is a bad person.
I agree. As a fellow person who had a mud flap ticket earlier this year.
Mud flaps is crazy.
As someone who got targeted like that, you're stopped in the night for something so inconvenient like that. It's not like you did, you were speeding, I didn't run a light, like I didn't do anything criminal. Is it fair? No, because now you upset that person and you make them uncomfortable, and they're already tense the next time they see you. As an officer, you shouldn't be antagonizing the community. You should be working with them.
Right.
Like if you stopped me and said, hey, you should get mud flaps, I'm like, oh wow, that's weird, but okay, sure. Why? And you can't explain to me why?
Yeah.
Then what's the point of you enforcing a law you don't understand? It's like if they say like, hey, you shouldn't be on your phone when you drive. Why? Because it causes accidents. Look at this, look at that,
Right.
look at this. Okay, I get it. I won't be on my phone. But they see a car, it's lowered to the ground, it's doing, I don't know, 60 on a 70 zone, but it's in the far right lane.
Minding its own business.
Guy's just doing his thing, you know, just chilling. Not a care in sight. He's just happy, alone, not a harm to society. No, let's tag him.
Yeah.
For what? I don't know. But they give him the book, tow his car, this and that. Next thing you know, that kid has no money. Either he sells the car or he starts taking chances. And that's when it becomes a problem, because you push the society to a corner where they're going to have to do something.
Yep.
And they're going to risk something. For example, driving with no insurance, or driving with no plates, or doing this, or doing that.
I wanted a ZX6R, and I got quoted. The only insurance company that would insure it was TD Bank at the time, because they consider it like a super sport bike or whatever. Anything over 600cc.
Yeah.
They quoted me $14,000 for insurance for 1 year. They're quoting, let's say even if it wasn't 14,000, say if it was just half of that, that's still crazy.
So even 7,000 a year is
yeah,
ridiculous.
7,000 is ridiculous. 5,000 is ridiculous. Like, it shouldn't be more than maybe a couple of hundred, let's say to max tops per month for it. Then you get into this of like, okay, there's people riding dirty or riding without insurance. And you have these cop chases, and you have these cops with big ass egos too, with those cop chases that won't stop till you freaking die or kill yourself on a bike. And they say, oh, we have so many people are riding without insurance and they're a threat to society and this and that. But it's like at the same time, you're not considering maybe people do want to be insured, but they can't. For example, I want to be in the car community. I want to build my car and work on my car, but you're making it so difficult for me to drive somewhere without pulling me over for a mud flap or a no front plate or just some dumb shit like tint, for example. After a while, you're like, bro, fuck this. If it's so hard to be a car person, then there's no point.
I think that's their goal.
That's what I think. I think too.
Their goal is to frustrate you. If I was a cop, I'd pull me over too. Look at my car. You look at my car.
Bro, I pull you over, tell you how fucking sick it is.
In Jersey is like that.
You can appreciate the time and effort, not just, oh, this is, here you go, no front plate. The neighborhood is much safer now, guys.
Save the life, man.
Save the life.
That's the problem.
You know?
The thing is, what frustrates me is that, yes, okay, fine, you target a car like mine, bright yellow car or orange or whatever you want to call it. For what? Meanwhile, there's a person that just stole a Hellcat and they're just ripping her around. We're not even
gonna get into the car theft.
But they look at what they prioritize, right?
Yeah.
You know, I lost my car last year, and they didn't prioritize that. But they prioritized me actually having to go take matters into my own hands to get my car.
Yeah.
But they didn't prioritize when I told them the address of my car and where it was. You know, they just said, nope, like that's not our problem. But then when I decided to go deal with it myself, then it became like, oh, okay, now we have to get involved. Why? So you push the general population and the community into doing wrong things because you as a peace officer, you're supposed to be helping us, but you're
doing
not.
Doing the opposite.
Like, are you waiting for us to make a problem before?
You're like literally leading someone to either, like, again, doing something illegal, because at that point they don't really have a choice, or to strip them away from something they enjoy. That's literally what it's coming down to.
I remember when I lost my car, the detective told me, he's like, maybe this is a time to like just get out of the car scene. And I was like, that's
crazy.
I was like,
yo, I don't think they realize that this is all we have sometimes.
Yeah, it's like
cars are literally like all I have. So if somebody told me to lose that side of me, I'm losing my entire self, because cars are literally like who I am.
It's true.
Some people got out of really bad situations or hard times in their life, and the only thing that got them through is the car that they had. And then when you got a freaking cop telling you probably need to sell that shit, it's like, go fuck yourself.
It's so weird how it is like a drug in a way.
Yeah, it is. You go broke for it, so it is.
Yeah, it's like if you were to drink or smoke, people don't understand that passion. It's unfortunate because it's something that makes you happy. Say for the general community, it keeps them out of trouble. Like, for example, there's always that area of people that drink a little bit too much. Bit of people that do smoke a little bit too much,
right.
you know? Same as cars, same as anything. But they chose to make it an example out of us, and it just inconvenienced us a lot.
What would you say is an unpopular car opinion of yours?
I have a couple. Honestly, I'm real sick and tired of seeing these cookie cutter builds.
Okay.
I can't stand them.
What's cookie cutter to you?
Things that you can just stick together. Let's look deeper. Like, you can just go to like a performance shop and just buy like a full kit. You slap it on, and then you go to a meet or a show, and then you expect to be idolized like a god. Like, dude, anyone can do that. No offense. Like, anyone can pay someone to build them a 600 horsepower car, but do you respect it? Do you understand it? Like, what about that kid or that father and son build, or, you know, that those guys were just in a garage in the winter, just like scrubbing parts.
Blood, sweat, and tears type of thing. Yeah.
They found a Whipple Charger off some record in Fort Erie, and they just went in the middle of a snowstorm and picked it up.
That sounds like a really personal experience right there.
No, I'm just saying like.
No, I get it.
Like those things I love hearing. I like hearing those stories. But like everything you see today is like you go to a show and it's like, it's everything's price tag. Everything is like, you might as well just leave a barcode on it and be like, boop, okay, that kit, 5,500. Boop, these wheels, 2,800. Yes, you can build unique things, but everything is just clashed together.
Another one?
Yeah.
Okay, so cookie cutter builds are no.
I know it's gonna upset a lot of people, because as someone like me talking, they know exactly who I'm talking about. So.
Who are you talking about?
Huh?
Who are we talking about? Are you gonna say that? Who are you talking about? Tell the people. Who are we talking about?
Who the people? No.
Tell the people. Okay, we're not gonna. Maybe you guys can
know who you are.
Maybe you guys can take some guesses in the comments.
You could have a cookie cutter build, but have a little bit of passion into it. It goes a long way. But when a car or the person themselves has no connection to, even connection to the community. Let's take like the BMW community for an example, right? You have people that interact with the community a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And they have a decently built car, right? They have, okay, you could say that they have like bolt-on kits or bolt-on parts, but they're invested into the community. You go up to them and be like, hey, oh, it's Moody, or hey, it's this person, or, you know, like all these other shops. You can talk to them. But then you got some guys where like, or girls, like, they got these cars, they're really nice built, but you can't talk to them. They got 200,000 followers or 100 followers or whatever the hell they got. No passion, just car. Boring people. Zero personality.
Would you consider those people genuine car people?
Absolutely not. I could say that proudly. You can't ask them for help. They'll ask you for help. They won't give you help.
Right.
I've seen it point blank. Again, they know who they are. They just leave people hanging. They don't care. They're in it for themselves. You know, I was taught in the community, especially the Rotary community, because we're so small. You look out for everyone. Right? When I go to the Tail of the Dragon down in Tennessee, we have a group, it's called Hotel 7. It's a bunch of crazy, like-minded people where we just like doing really crazy builds. Some of us are famous YouTubers. Some of us are just low-key. We just do random stuff on the side. But at the end of the day, we all look out for each other. No one gets left behind. Like, I would stop. I would take parts off my car to help them. That's just how I was brought up. You want to help someone because you're not expecting help back.
You're a car person.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
We look out for each other.
Yeah, we do.
It doesn't matter what you drive. If you drive a bike, a bicycle, fast car, slow car, it doesn't matter.
An NPC car.
Yeah, someone in distress, you help them. That's just how it is. But today it's not like that. People don't want to help each other anymore. It's selfish. It's because you might help them and then they'll get ahead of you. That's the mentality. It's a dog-eat-dog world now. It's not like before. You've seen my car before. You don't need to know me to know the car. The car could just be in this parking lot and people would be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
I actually don't know him. I know he does this, he does that. He's here, he's there, he's on the track, he's not on the track. I am around. Right.
Like you as an individual partake in the community aside from the fact that your car also partakes in the community.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like a two-way street where you have to, if you're in it, you have to be somewhat committed to it in your way too, right? You can't just walk away from. You can't just have the car and just like be a ghost. Yeah, you could be, but
the sense of community.
Yeah.
All right, Sanjay. Well, we had some good discussions. This was almost an hour.
Very political.
Very political. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being my first guest
Thank
in
you.
the unnamed, no name M4 podcast. Do you have any final words for my people here watching you or here?
No.
Amazing. So we're gonna end it up with that.
I'll be back.
He'll be back with another build.
Yeah, with another car.
Every time I see this guy, there's a different car parked next to mine.
That is true.
But yeah, thank you for telling us about, we took a deep dive into all aspects of your car life. We hope that you keep on building and that you don't retire in 10 years and you're still around for more RX7s and weird builds. If you had to tell the people that had something to say about the Kswap.
Oh, I knew you were gonna come back to this. You know what I don't get? Everybody that dogs on that Kswap has an Evo. A solid 98% of the people that dog on it had an Evo. Or have an Evo. Out of that population, I promise you, maybe 5% of them actually have a running Evo.
Damn.
Yeah, it's very true. I've been on the forums.
Right.
I've seen what people have posted about the car. They talked about it. All these guys have had 10-year long ass builds, trying to make 800, trying to make 600, motors blowing through holes and all this. Meanwhile, like, this is my 3rd or 4th trip from Detroit with the car. I don't baby that car. It's a Honda. You gotta treat it like a Honda, man. Let me leave it on this note. I just remembered. A lot of the people that talk shit about the Evo, the Kswap, message me after the comments. I have so many.
Yeah.
I can go through the entire comment section and show you. Some of the people that talk shit DM'd me afterwards asking how I did it. Some of them are actually shops. They're the ones that publicly like to bash you and say like, oh, this is such a shit swap. You should have done a 2.4. Why didn't you do a built K series? Then they're messaging me being like, oh, how did you get the mounts to fit? How did you do this? How did you do that? Why do you want to know? I thought you didn't like it.
It's like they low-key love it, but they hate it at the same time.
They hate it because they've dreamed about doing it, but they don't know how you did it.
Alrighty, we're gonna end it off on that. I'm gonna end it again by saying thank you to everybody watching.
You could send hate mail as well if you want.
To him. Leave me
not to
the
me.
fuck out of
not
it.
To me. To this one.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the next one. Sanjay, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Say bye to the people's here's.
See you.
Alright. Wait, but did you guys take in his shirt though? Show them your shirt.
It's Saber. With Boba.
I told him to wear something that represents him.
Yes. To be fair, my car's name is Saber.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I named my car after Saber. Well, the Saber.
Yeah.
And then I have a Saber shirt. I have a Saber.
I'm not
sweater.
into the whole anime thing. I'm sorry.